Hey guys, Phil here from White Cloud Coffee, and today we are going to make a coffee through an AeroPress. This is my preferred brew method whenever I'm out and about in the van, if I'm going surfing or mountain biking or generally anywhere on an adventure. So what do you need? You need coffee, 20 grams, and if you're pre-grinding it, make sure it's just coarser than espresso grind. Hot water, obviously an AeroPress with your filter, which I've got in here because I don't want it to blow away right now, and a mug, and that's it. So I've got my hand grinder here and my coffee. If you don't have a hand grinder, they're pretty cheap to pick it up, but if you buy pre-ground coffee, just make sure it's espresso grind, but not too fine because you want it to get through your filter. All right, now this takes a little time, unfortunately. But if you're warming up before you go for a sea swim, like me, then maybe you can warm your hands up. Or not, for about 2 seconds, because Brighton Beach is freezing. So I've got my pre-ground coffee. You've now got a filter in here. This comes a pack, but I just keep mine in there all the time because it's probably going to blow away otherwise. So take this apart. You want to pre-wet your filter. You can do this before you put it in, but for the sake of me being outside, I prefer to do it like this. So let me just pour a bit of water in. Let that sink through. Pour it out. Okay, so I got my coffee. Pour it in. Now, for adding your water, I like my temperature to be at around 80 degrees Celsius. For me, that's a kind of good temperature for an AeroPress. I'm going to pour it in right to the top. On the AeroPress, you've got 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 being at the top. I fill my water all the way up to the top and give it a good stir around for a few seconds and let that brew for about 2 minutes. All right, now the plunger. You want to stick the plunger on just on the top there, and that is going to keep the pressure in and keep it from falling through. If your grind size is too coarse, it will start to just fall through a little bit. If your grind size is too fine, when you go to push this down, it's not going to go anywhere. You'll just be forcing it down. So yeah, the grind size is really important for an AeroPress. So this is your first time using an AeroPress, you might want to experiment with the grind size a little bit, and it will depend with some coffees as well that you get. The grind size might be a little bit different. So there's not one recipe for everything. It's really a broad experiment, and it's what works for you. So I'm about 1:45 in, and I'm just going to give it another stir. Oh, almost lost that bit there. There we go. Right. Pop that on and wait for another 30 seconds. When you come to plunging the AeroPress, you don't need to put a load of force. You should just let the force of your hands on top push it down. And you want to take about 25 to 30 seconds to push it down. And there you go. There's those dark chocolate and cherry flavours from our rocket blend. Cheers. I'll go for a swim again.